transparent, make it real, use real people, put them in real situations, stop lying to us. And then we started talking to all the blogs. This is called blogger outreach, and it's a very, very big part of my job. I have to identify across the internet the 100 most important blogs for each of the projects that we manage. So that means a blog that has not necessarily the most visitors, but through a formula is the most influential for each sector that it works in. And once I've identified who they are, it's my job to be their friend. That's what public relations is. It doesn't matter how I become their friend. I could send them a press release, although I'll probably be largely ignored. I could phone them up, or I could start tweeting with them. Either way, I have to befriend them in order that they're going to put a link to Minnie's new video on their blog. And why does it matter that they do this? Well, there's a little secret here. I don't care less that each of these blogs only has 100,000 visitors a month. Because they're a blog, Google believes they have a higher page rank value. The SEO backlink from a blog to my client's branded website is more important than a link from any other website apart from an academic or military website. Through an SEO perspective, these backlinks from blogs are the golden egg. If I get 10 or 12 of them, my mini website appears on page 1 of Google and therefore collects the natural visitor traffic for anyone interested in the category. So the blogs think I'm a jolly nice chap. I'm giving them some content that they would like to have. And in return, all I get is a little link. That little link generates me hundreds of thousands of visits in the auto trade sector for Mini. But beyond that, which is essentially marketing, they want this, community. Now, I've built some communities. I own some businesses that are online communities, and they're a struggle. Everybody, when they find out I built some .com communities back in the day, says, you must have a good idea and another niche sector community that we can build and we can retire on it. We don't need offices. These people will come on there and date each other on network. We just need a niche group to do it to. It doesn't work that way. It's not about technology. It's hard to define what it is about, but I can tell you what it's not about. It's not just connecting people, that's just interface. Mobile phones do that. It's not a discussion or a forum. You can't dip in and out of community. It's not a million people watching YouTube. Community has to have this sense of agreement, an agreed set of rules, even if we never state them. There's some sort of rules in here. A couple of people brought their pints in from the bar, and I really wanted to, but in the college environment, I thought, I don't know if I'm allowed. If I was a student here, I would know, probably without asking, that's community. The fact that we all have a different social status in that community is important. Why am I the only one talking? There's an implied status link between me and you right now that says you have to put up with this just for a couple of minutes before you can ask me all the questions. That is community, and that cannot be achieved in short periods of time or by giving us instant messaging services. Facebook is not community. Facebook is wonderful, it's brilliant. People date on it and we share our photos, but it's not a community. Facebook is a reflection of the community we already have. How many people are not on Facebook? 2. Cool. I know why you're not. You can ask him at the bar. But, when we're on Facebook, we usually talk to the group of people that we already know in the real world. We might pick up 1 or 2 on the way that are newbies. But our friends are still our friends on Facebook. We're pretty much staying in contact with them, and the rules are still applying. The guy who is always the one on Friday night to suggest the bar is still the one on Facebook who suggests the bar. The girl who always complains that their boyfriend has done this, that, and the other, but is never there for you when the same happens to you. Exactly the same on Facebook. There is no new social structure. There is no room or invitation for new leaders. In the Facebook environment, new relationships cannot form, only if you're introduced in the real world and use Facebook as a tool. This is why when a company, and this happens a scary number of times a day, says, you know, Alex, look, I'm going to up the Facebook budget this year, give 50,000, 100,000, make the best Facebook fan page group, whatever you want, just do it on Facebook. What's the point? You are not going to become friends with the people on Facebook. You might mildly entertain them, you might share information with them, but unless you focus on the real world, on the events, on communicating, on broadcasting, and use Facebook as a hub for that marketing experience, then it will achieve absolutely nothing. It's all good waffling about this, but our industry is about money. Not many of us would do this if we didn't get paid for it. We have to look at these terms, CTR, click-through rate, CPC, cost per click. We all want people to visit our brand. When you deal with Facebook, and I served 9 million adverts to Facebook last year alone for 3 clients. We did it because it had great brand awareness, but we knew hardly anyone would click them. I mean, who clicks on a Facebook advert? Does it matter though? If you keep seeing a logo in the corner of your screen, are you going to start recognizing it? The fact that it has this terrible click-through rate, that helps me. I can pay £2,000 to have endless streams of adverts going out there knowing you won't click them, and therefore it won't charge me. However, there's a different sort of online community, what I call on-offline community. These are usually niche groups. They've been set up usually by individuals rather than companies, but this is what my clients really, really want these days. They want this thing that says I am instead of I do. Converse is working with us on 2 concepts. One is just called the Spark, I am Converse, what are you? Which offers 10, 20, 30 little clips of wonderful pieces of art and bits of music, street art, composure, this sort of stuff. It just gives you that and then invites you to say, what are you? There is no further structure to it. It's an open dialogue. That is something I can feel a part of because I can share who I am with it. It has shared with me. The other version is these networks. I'm going to show you one called JTM, which hold events every week. I know DigiTalks, Richard's here. He has a network of people who actually meet in the real world more than they do online. In fact, the online is coming later. This is why his has a loyal following. And there's a rule to this. There's a sort of sum. I call it the SSS theory, social spatial self theory. These types of communications, these campaigns, these networks, if you like, have all focused on 3 elements. They've attracted us because of our social status. So they've looked at, should it be the dominating person in the room that I'm talking to or the shy? Which one should I be communicating with? How should I approach loudly or quietly? They've looked at the self part. How should I appear to be like you? How can my website reflect your attitude? That might be design, but it might also be the fact that the website changes with the time of day. I have a website that becomes a little bit gentler after dusk. Surprising how it keeps people on longer.